taking charge at Carrow Road, Mike Walker has transformed Norwich City into a side capable of challenging for the title. Tonight, Walker and Norwich face the biggest test of their lives when they come up against one of the best club sides in the world. In European terms, this really is David against Goliath, ready to do battle in the Olympic Stadium. What a night for the Canaries. Our live football this evening is the UEFA Cup second round first leg tie between Bayern Munich and Norwich City. Coming up, the biggest game in Norwich City's history in their first European campaign. Bayern are embarking on their 26th. The UEFA Cup is the one trophy that they haven't won. Will this be their year? No. A very special welcome to all you Canaries tonight watching at Carrow Road, and to our guest this evening, Alan McAnally, the former Munich, big business centre in Germany, a rich cosmopolitan city. No signs of the recession here. It's Bayern Munich against Norwich City tonight in the UEFA Cup. A little earlier today, Jeff Shreve spoke to Mike Walker, the Norwich City manager, and asked him how the Canaries would approach the match tonight.
Well, we'll go out, try and be positive. I mean, I don't see any point in us trying to defend, that much. I think, but that is another thing you have to learn. It's the balance between discipline between like attacking and defending. You can't just go out and throw yourselves at these teams. They're too experienced, too good. So you have to get the balance between defending right and obviously attacking right. But we've got a bit of pace up front. They wouldn't have gone unknown on them. We've done quite well, and we've been reasonably solid at the back so far. So no, we'll just go out nice and positive, hoping to get a good result. We know that we'll be the underdogs, obviously, but we'll go out there nice and positive after the experience we've had in the first leg.
How does it feel to be involved in a competition of this magnitude and with such names alongside you, such illustrious names as Bayern?
Well, I don't really think it's sunk in that much. I mean, we got into Europe. There was all the big thing. We got it. We made it. We played Vitesse, who are a seeded team early on, as you know. That was a big test for us, and it's just another hurdle. When I sat back really after we beat Vitesse and I looked through all the teams we could get, and then it hits home. You think, right, these great teams that you've heard of and you've seen on the television, and you're actually rubbing shoulders with them. But that is the draw of actually playing in Europe, and it's great for a club like Norwich to be involved.
What's it actually doing for the club?
Well, it's putting us on the map even more so. I mean, there's always been this thing about not getting perhaps recognition, but I think that altered by the end of last season. I think we've proved a few points. We've certainly worked hard to try and make sure it wasn't a flash in the pan, and we've started quite well this season. But now it's like I said, Bayern's a different league. We've got to step up again. It's also the same with Europe. We've done our little bit at home. We now need to try and impress on the international stage that we're perhaps not a bad side, and that's going to be very difficult. But that's a great challenge for myself and the players and the football club.
Do you believe you're good enough?
Yeah, I think, I wouldn't say that we're going to go all the way and win it or anything like that, because you've got to accept there are sides out there that are vastly more experienced than we are and got better talent. But, we'll give it our best shot. That's all we can do. And if we learn things from the experience that makes us better, me a better manager, for instance, the players better players and the club a better way to run the club, then we're going to benefit and we'll be stronger in the years to come.
Mike Walker, what a good job he's doing with Norwich City. We like Norwich here, so you're in the minority tonight.
No, I'm not.
We're lining up against Will Fox. Looking calm, thoughtful, as those Norwich City supporters. Plenty of yellow jerseys. Good luck to the Canaries tonight. This is the Norwich City team tonight. John Polston and Efan Akoku both failed fitness tests. In comes Spencer Pryor and Mark Robbins, who plays up front there alongside Chris Sutton. It's really a 4-4-2, Alan, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be. I think that obviously they're looking for Sutton to win a few things, for Robbins to be nipping around about him, and a really big game for Spencer Pryor tonight. This is a decent place to make your debut in a European competition.
Ian Crook's so important to them in the midfield. German television interviews taking place trackside. Literally moments before the game starts. There's a very different attitude in Germany towards television. On the Bayern side tonight, 3 national team captains in this lineup. Lothar Matthäus of Germany, Jan Wouters of Holland, Jorginho of Brazil. Olaf Thon, who's been injured recently, doesn't play tonight, Alan. We'll have a look at it in a moment or so. But it's a team that you think is full of goals.
Yeah, I think it's been proved over the last 3 weeks. They've been scoring plenty of goals, and I think that Rebecca will be telling tonight is actually go out and try and do exactly what they've been doing and scoring goals. Obviously, he'll know for sure they need to go back with a few goals in the bag when they're going back to Norwich, because that'll be a real atmosphere that night. So they'll need to play very well tonight to take something back there, not to have everything hinging on the game over there.
Those of us who were watching the soccer news a little earlier will have seen you predict a 3-0 win for Bayern Munich tonight. Have you changed your mind in the hour or so in between?
I have seen the away form of Norwich, which is really impressive, but I still think that there has been teams with the same attitude of trying to contain Bayern or thinking we won't be too defensive and we'll be quite positive, and still being turned over. And I'll be very surprised if Bayern don't score 2 or 3 goals tonight without reply.
Well, just to confirm, Norwich had no luck today with fitness tests on Efan Akoku and John Polston. So Spencer Pryor makes his European debut in defence. Mark Robins stays in attack. Robins, one of 4 Norwich players who have winners' medals in European club competition, but all as non-playing substitutes. Robins, of course, with Manchester United, and Ian Culverhouse, Mark Bowen and Ian Crook with Spurs in the UEFA Cup. That's more than 9 years ago now. But they're a side with this very proud away record, and that should give real substance to their self-belief here. I think they do feel that this will be a barometer of just how much Norwich have improved in the last 18 months or so. Bayern's coach, Erik Rybak, had only one major decision to make: who would replace the suspended Markus Schuck. And he's plumped for a striker who helped Colombia into the World Cup finals in Adolfo Valencia, his first season here. He scored 2 goals on his Bundesliga debut back in August, but he's found it a bit harder going since then. Lothar Matthäus, a reminder of Bayern's glorious past, as well as, of course, being a big influence on the present. But there are these promising new kids on the Bayern block in Christian Ziege, an attack-minded left-back, Christian Nerlinger, who only made his debut this season, and Mehmet Scholl, who is the leading scorer for Bayern so far in all competitions this season, with 8 goals. Well, it's not a full house here in the Olympic Stadium. The crowd estimated to be around 25,000. It's a cold night. Some 1,000 have made the journey from East Anglia. But I must say they made a very good job here in stoking up the atmosphere with the musical accompaniment. Raymond Aumann, the goalkeeper, is the Bayern captain. The responsibility for Norwich with Ian Butterworth.
Martin, I just wondered earlier today when we found out Efan Akoku was unfit, whether Mike Walker would say, OK, we're away in the Olympic Stadium against formidable opponents. I wondered whether he ever thought about bringing in somebody like Gary Megson, for instance, just to block up the midfield a little bit more. But it shows, I think, the measure of the confidence that's running through not only the manager, Mike Walker, but the confidence he has in his players' ability away from home, that he said, no such thing. We're going to stick with the thing, stick with the formation that's brought us 19 away goals and an unbeaten record so far. And that suggests that they're not just going to come and contain, although that'll be their main priority, but they're hoping perhaps to cause Bayern 1 or 2 problems.
Well, Bayern's record against British and Irish clubs down the years is a story of real contrast. They haven't been beaten here, but they've only won once in Britain. That was relatively recently against Rangers. And since then they've been held by Cork Celtic.
And if I'm not mistaken, Alan McInally played in that game when Bayern Munich beat Rangers 3-1 at Ibrox. I'm sure he did. He didn't play very well, I hasten to add.
Erik Rybak, alongside a real who's who of Bayern's past. Klaus Augenthaler in the middle of your picture, who was the spy at Chelsea looking at Norwich on Saturday. You saw Uli Hoeneß, the general manager there. Franz Beckenbauer is a vice president here. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge as well. Gerd Müller is on the coaching staff. When you mention names like that, you understand just what Norwich are taking on in terms of tradition. But we'll see what talent the new Bayern side has, because it is a rebuilt side. The club a couple of years ago was in some disarray. They didn't qualify for Europe last season.